What up, Laker family? It's your boy DTLF back with another live stream. Very interesting after yesterday's turmoil. The Lakers turn around and make a quick and swift move. Now, we're going to break it all down and talk about obviously the Lakers cut Deandre Jordan, and they're going to add DJ Augustin to the roster and Wayne and Gabriel, all right, ex Kentucky player, 6'9" forward. So we're going to talk about it all and break it down and see, is this too little too late? In my opinion, I think it is. I think it's too little too late, but it's encouraging to see something done after the embarrassment that was last night. So that's the good news. The good news, yes, the Lakers trying to make moves and trying to at least change the culture of this team somehow, right? But I think, obviously we all knew DeAndre Jordan was not a fit from the beginning. And unfortunately for him, he wasn't getting playing time anyways. So I think this is the best for both parties now. I'm not sure if he'll find a job again in the NBA after the display this season, but I wish him the best. He's a good dude in general, so I wish him the best. Now, as far as the acquisition, we're talking about DJ Augustin. DJ Augustin is somebody who shot 38% from beyond the arc his whole career. He's he's been around the league. He's a savvy guy. I don't really expect too much from him. He's a career 9.6 point per game scorer. And like I said, I'm sorry, I think he shot 41% actually. Correction. Oh, no, that's from the field goal. Okay, that's his field goal percentage. My bad. But yeah, I think this, like my homegirl right here says, she says, good. They should keep going. Don't stop. I agree. I still think, obviously, you guys said Bazemore. That would be another good change up. It would be nice if we can get a change in coaching. Maybe we let Mr. Phil Handy take over. Who knows? But it's just too little too late if we're talking about the season. But I am curious to see how this new acquisition will impact the rotations moving forward. Who will start? Who will come off the bench? Who's going to get the bulk of the minutes? Look, I don't like the fact that the primary target we went after was a guard. We got plenty of those, and how that hasn't really worked out for us. I do like that we are signing Wayne and Gabriel, even though he's just a career 2 point per game scorer. He's a 6'9" wing who can maybe help us on the defensive end. So that's decent, but he's on a 2-way contract. How much do we expect Wayne and Gabriel to play off of a 2-way contract? We know how Frank Vogel operates. Now, it would be nice personally for me if the Lakers sent a message to our star players and benched them the next game for their piss poor effort and just, came out with all these new players and the young players that play hard and gave them all the minutes for the next game. I would do that just to send a message, all right? But, it's something. It's something. It's not nothing. And let's see how it translates over to the body language, to everything that's going on the court. I don't know if you guys been watching the clips. Players been chirping back with the fans instead of focusing on the game. And it's all bad in La La Land right now. But, I realized when Jeannie Buss walked out yesterday, she was pissed. And, as a Laker diehard, I'm happy to see that she has some of the same emotions that we do as fans. So, this is good. This is good that there was action taken right after that horrible piss poor display again. Nobody deserved to watch that. I was gouging my eyes out of my sockets after last night. It was so bad. I don't think we're done. I hope not, Tyra. Oh my God. I would hope that the Lakers continue to do stuff just to change the culture little by little from this losing stench of a team. I mean, let's be real. This team has been so bad that it makes the 2012-2013 Lakers, who underachieved under Steve Nash and Dwight Howard, Kobe, and Gasol, look amazing compared to this team. At least that team gave us their all, even though we were injured and Dwight Howard still wasn't playing wholeheartedly. But Kobe Bryant tore his Achilles trying to will us, and he did into the playoffs. And like I said, that team at least gave us effort. This team might go down as the worst star-studded team in the history of the Lakers franchise. Think about that. I can't think of a worse team than this one when we're talking about max contracts. Having 3 max contracts on your roster, this got to be the worst effort I've ever seen. Maybe even in the history of the NBA. Can anybody bring up a worse super team that underachieved historically? Because none come to mind like this one. Maybe that's because I'm a Laker fan and I'm obviously biased towards my team, but it's really hard to see a massive failure like the one this one has been on every category we're talking about. If we're talking about, obviously, production on the court, we failed. We're talking about chemistry, we failed. We're talking about carrying themselves like professionals. Did y'all hear what Russell Westbrook said last night? We failed. So this got to be the worst team in the history of the Lakers, maybe more. He said Moses Brown and DJ Wilson both 7'1" and 6'11" and 22 and 26. Rob is dumb. Well, those players have potential, but none of them have proven themselves. And one thing we know is it doesn't matter if we acquire the players if your coach doesn't play them. Now, one thing we know about DJ Augustin is he's a proven shooter, and he's a backup guard. He's been that throughout his career. I think he's been in the league since 2008 or 2009. I don't remember, but he's somebody who the coaching staff probably will trust and give heavy minutes to. So even if we would have got those two players, who I agree with you should be taken a look at, and DJ Wilson, and especially Moses Brown, there's no guarantee they would have played. All right. We've had other guys come through, and coach really didn't play them much unless they were veterans like Isaiah Thomas. I can't wait to see Kendrick Nunn on the court. At this point, man, it doesn't really even matter anymore. Like, this team is really on the borderline getting overtaken by the Pelicans. We're on the 9th seed. We keep sliding down, we're going to end up 10th or worse, maybe out of the play-in. So, but I want to know, how does Laker Nation feel about this move? Personally, for me, it doesn't really move the needle. Like my homegirl Tara said, hopefully it's just a start, and hopefully we continue making moves and just giving ourselves a facelift of some sort. Yeah, you're right. Bazemore should be the next one gone. But for now, this is all we've done, and this could be the final moves of the season. I wouldn't be shocked if they were. But yeah, like I said, Wayne and Gabriel is very raw. It's basically like adding an Isaac Bonga type player, like one of those. And so I don't know if I should be excited or just puzzled. But the only good thing about this is that Deandre Jordan is no longer a Laker. All right, he never should have been. We got him a year or two too late, and that tends to happen to us as Laker fans. We've been here for a minute. We know sometimes we get a player way too late, and they end up not being productive for us. So it has nothing to do with his career. He had a decent career, and I got nothing against him personally, but we shouldn't have given him that roster spot. Should have been for somebody else. It's a shame that it took the final 20 games to figure that out. We only got 20 games left. That's crazy, right? Jeannie definitely saw DJ's pass last night. Yeah, that was bad. DeAndre Jordan's pass, I don't know who he was passing it to. I mean, Jeannie almost caught that from out of bounds. That's how bad it was. But all season long, and the fact that we haven't got another backup big really concerns me. And this is why I really see, and I hope, like I said, that the homegirl was right. And, we removed the coaching staff because they don't know what in the world they're doing, man. And this is the reason I think they continue to acquire guards. We got plenty of guards. We're not utilizing them properly, and we need to go with a bigger, more traditional lineup, the way the team is constructed now. If we had a bunch of scorers everywhere on the floor and some youth and a ton of athleticism and a younger LeBron and a healthy Anthony Davis, then okay, more guards would be fine. But we have none of that. Anthony Davis just went down, if I don't recall, so we could use another backup big. It's gotten to the point where, like I said, this is one of those moves that won't even tickle their pockets, but it's almost like saying, let's do something for the sake of doing something. There's no way we can just sit here after that atrocity last night and not do at least something, right? That's what I feel like this move was for. He said, let's get to Waive, Ariza, and Bazemore, in my opinion. Yeah, Ariza hasn't been good this year, man. He was much better when he was coming off the bench for a couple of games, but let's be real, that has not been good enough for the Lakers this year. And the fact that he has started is insanely just puzzling to me, But look, we made a move. Now let's see how that translates to the court, and let's see who gets the bulk of the minutes and all that. Although, even though DeAndre wasn't getting any minutes, but I'm sure DJ is going to come in here as a veteran. I expect him to get anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes a night off the bench. But yeah. Waive Bazemore, sign Alfonso McKinney. He was decent for us. I actually liked him. I liked Alfonso McKinney, There's a couple of role players we've let go in the past that I actually liked. So, Somebody just asked me if this means if Kendrick Nunn is no longer coming back. I don't know. Honestly, he's been the biggest question mark all season long. He was supposed to be back since January. Like they said, early January. That flipped into February, now into late March. It just, who knows, man? Who knows with this guy, or if he's even injured? Maybe he's like, yo, the Lakers suck so bad, I'm not trying to mess up my stock. Or I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. Going into free agency, honestly, there's no explanation for a lot of the stuff that has happened this season. They should get younger guys. They'll be hunger, and uh, on the big stage, they'll show the F out. Look, listen, I agree with you. I'm in favor of this season is over and the veterans are mailing it in. So why not get some hungry young players that want to prove themselves, and maybe they'll earn future contracts with the Lakers. Who knows? I agree. Absolutely. Dan, we don't have a person to pump up the players like Rondo's position. Oh, you're talking about like Jared Dudley? Yeah, you know what, Bridget? You might have a point there because, people undervalue, and I defended Jared Dudley a lot when he was on the team. People undervalue a veteran leadership. They think, oh, Jared Dudley doesn't get playing time. Waive him for another player. Not everybody on the team, 1 through 15, and then now 17 with the two-way players added, is going to get heavy minutes. Everybody knows, especially in the playoffs, it always comes down to like an 8 to 10 man rotation, sometimes more. So you need those guys that are always going to stay positive, whether they're getting minutes or not. You need those, those feel good players that are just going to keep it light in the locker room and just help lead, because they're priceless, man. So yeah, it's unfortunate we don't have nobody like that, Bridget. You're absolutely right. But at this point, like I said, we're going to just take whatever we can get with the season. The good news, DeAndre Jordan's no longer a Laker. The bad news, we didn't acquire another big man. We acquired, well, I guess technically you can call Wayne and Gabriel a big man, but he's on a two-way contract. I really don't see him getting heavy minutes. I'd be shocked. But yeah, I would like to see what he's got. Sure, why not? Dan, DJ Augustin was remembered as a Charlotte Bobcat legend. He's a decent player. I've liked him since he played for, I think it was the Texas Longhorns. He was on Kevin Durant's team, and I remember as a kid watching them and just thinking, man, Kevin Durant and DJ Augustin are beasts. I remember that, if I'm not mistaken. I think they played together. But he's always been a speedy, shifty guard. He's a little bit older now, but he's always had a nice jumper. 40% from the field and 38% from beyond the arc. However, like I said, I don't expect many minutes from him unless the coach just decides to let players that want to play. Maybe they had that conversation. They're like, let's go out and get some new players because these guys need to get some of their minutes revoked. Now, the way they're advertising them, Sham says, the Los Angeles Lakers intend to waive Deandre Jordan and sign free agent DJ Augustin. Lakers are bringing in a veteran, accomplished shooting point guard to back up Russell Westbrook. So I guess that's what they see him as, the Russell Westbrook backup, which then leads to that other question that was asked earlier. Does this mean Kendrick Nunn is no longer coming back? Potentially. We'll see. That one play yesterday when they had ball movement and got a three is what they need to do more. You're right, Jerome. You're absolutely right, bro. But, it takes players to trust each other and to have good chemistry to be able to move the rock. If not, you got players like Westbrook and even at times LeBron playing hero ball when they have the easier pass. If they're not trusting each other, or if the teammates get off to a slow start, due in part to the fact that players like Trevor Ariza have started all year long, stunting the quick starts for the Lakers, is almost like playing 5-on-4. When DeAndre Jordan was starting, playing 5-on-4. When Ken Bazemore was starting, playing 5-on-4. Now Trevor Ariza, it feels like it's always a 5-on-4. And that's why we get off to slow starts and then we're playing catch up the rest of the game. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. So I really hope that, that they figure it out for next season. That's all. And like I said, right now I'm watching every game attentively because it's getting interesting. All right. It's getting really hot. And let's see who stays in the kitchen and who's going to be ready to get the heck out. Dan, can we get Mo Bamba next season? We need some size badly. And this is something we've been saying ever since we got rid of JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard pairing, right? We got Dwight back, but he's not getting a lot of minutes, even though he's been playing better as of late as a starter. But yeah, we're going to need another big, whether it's a backup or a starting caliber big man for next season. We need a lot of things, to be honest with you, man. We need guys, first and foremost, we need guys who want to be here and guys who aren't worried about antagonizing the fans and telling them to go home. Russell Westbrook, and guys like that to be gone. All right. And we need guys that are going to come in here with a positive attitude. And when they get booed, they should say the right thing. The right thing is, you know what? We played like crap. We deserve to get booed. All right. I think any player who puts his ego to the side and just takes a look in the mirror would say that. That's the right response. Not they can take their ass home. Bro, they paid top dollar to come see you play so your goofy ass can act a fool, turn the ball over 7 times to your 1 assist, and then you're gonna sit out here and act like you're not an entitled prick. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we need players that really understand the franchise, the fan base, and what it is to be a Laker next season. That's what I asked for primarily, even more than big names. I think Laker fans are tired of divas coming through here, putting on the jersey, and thinking that they're bigger than the franchise. That's not the case, especially when you're not accomplished like Russell Westbrook. I'm sorry. So I think that should be the priority in the offseason from Rob. And, of course, firing the coach is priority number one. As soon as day one hits, that is free agents. I'm sorry, not even free agency. The offseason, the first day of offseason, I want to hear breaking news. Lakers have parted ways with Frank Vogel. Like, I don't care if they have to say it politely or if they say Frank Vogel stepped down, whatever the case may be, whatever the save phase. But that has to be priority number one. Priority number two, then we can get into the trade talks. We can get into the free agency and all that stuff. Obviously, we don't have a draft pick. However, if Rob Pelinka can work his magic, maybe he can buy a second rounder, right? You have to win the small little victories. It's very important that we continue to get youth in here because we are old as heck. And we have really got a lot of W's recently, even with undrafted players like Austin Reeves and late first-round picks and second-round picks. So I think we should continue that trend. Try to buy a pick or even trade for one. Doesn't matter because the Lakers always seem to ace the draft, especially late in the draft, right? At the very least, we're getting a very, formidable role player. And at best, who knows, maybe more. We need fans that want to be here. I've heard I'm cheering for the Clippers. Well, that means you never were there. Dan, you know who's got your back. When you at your worst. Oh, yeah, for sure. Listen, any fan that says they're cheering for the Clippers is not a Laker fan, bro. It never has been because they don't understand what loyalty is all about. That's what we're all about, right? You can't double dip. I'm sorry. Unwritten rule of Los Angeles, you can't double dip, all right? If you're a Rams fan, you can't be a Chargers fan. If you're a Laker fan, you can't be a Clipper fan. Nor why would you want to be? That's weird, bro. So I agree with you. I'm not the gatekeeper, but I will tell you this. If you're a Laker fan and you all of a sudden start rooting for the Clippers, there's something wrong with you. That's all I got to say about that. Like, really? So you're rooting for a franchise that constantly disrespects the greatest franchise on earth, the Lakers? Like, bruh, nah. He said, Dan, do you like UFC? If so, who's your favorite fighter? Man, I was really into UFC back when Jose Aldo was dominating out of Brazil. I was a huge fan of Jose Aldo. Nowadays, I don't really have a favorite. Obviously, I'm always, I love fighters that represent my motherland, guys like Cain Velasquez and stuff like that. But their time is pretty much up. I don't have a favorite fighter right now, but I will definitely be tuning in here and there. I'm a casual. I guess you could say I'm a UFC casual, bro. When there's a very, very good fight, I definitely tune in. He said, at least we got alternative to Westbrook. So, I mean, yeah, it's interesting. But, again, this doesn't move the needle for me. Had the Lakers went out and got like a Tristan Thompson when he was available, or, I don't know, like somebody decent, then I could have said, all right, this will be really, really interesting. Let's see if they can help move the needle a little bit, at least. But we've just built the losing culture the last couple of seasons, man. Last year, we had all the excuses in the book, injuries, this and that. So nobody really went hard on the team. But this year, it's just piss poor effort. It's a sore loser mentality, hanging their heads too early before the game's even halfway through, complaining, finger pointing, talking back to the fans, not respecting, the coaching staff, not making the right rotation. I mean, it's been a living hell this year. It's like I said, historically, this is probably the worst Laker team I've ever witnessed for the payroll, right? If we're doing pound for pound for the payroll, this is the worst. At least when we had the young players and the rookies, we had draft picks in the future potentially to look forward to. We had player development to look forward to. Nowadays, with this current team, you really don't have much to look forward to. Outside of maybe Austin Reeves, Malik Monk, THT, and a couple of decent role players here and there. Carmelo, obviously. It's really hard to have fun watching these games, especially when these guys are giving you half-assed efforts. He said, trade LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and get some young players for the future. Did y'all hear what Shaquille O'Neal said? Shaq said recently that if the Lakers end up trading LeBron, they're never going to win a championship. I was like, damn, he really ripped the page out of LeVar Ball. LeVar Ball said the same thing. If we trade his son, we're never going to win a championship. Guess what? We won one the very next season. I think that was hilarious, man, when these analysts make these, out of the blue predictions. They're like, bro, you know you're a Laker, right, Shaq? And you know that it's always Lakers first. I don't know. Shaq's been confused since he became a journeyman, I guess. But I don't agree with Shaq. He's been rubbing elbows with Chuck way too long, man. They've been, joining forces to tear up Krispy Kreme or some shit. Because, that's not working out, man. That's some of these takes are they're ludicrous. This man literally said we would never win a championship, as if he doesn't understand what it means to be a Laker, bro. But it is what it is, man. Like, the clowns are coming out of they're coming out of the woodworks nowadays with all of these ridiculous takes, acting like players are bigger than franchises. That's never going to be the case here. I'm sorry to hurt people's feelings, but that's just a fact. He said Kent Bazemore can go too. He really should. I'm shocked he's been able to rob the Lakers at gunpoint for his bag this season, because the only upside of that is that he's on a 1-year minimum deal. So it is what it is. But at the same time, I think it's hilarious that players like that can stay on a roster, and then you guys really talented players that aren't on a roster, right? Did I see that LeBron Heat trade rumor? I did not, but I'm sure there's going to be tons of trade rumors this summer. I'll believe it when I see it, all right? If the Lakers have the balls to trade LeBron James, that's huge, man. That's huge. But like I said, nothing comes without implications. We could be viewed as many things if we do that. So I'm sure the Lakers are going to, do what's in their best interest moving forward. But remember, we are a classy organization. We're a classy franchise. Since LeBron already helped deliver a title, I just don't see us trading him. If it happens, then I think it'll be because LeBron's no longer comfortable here and he requested it. But if it doesn't happen, like, I would gain a brand new respect for the front office if they just say, you know what, fuck your feelings. We're gonna do what we need to do to. I just don't think they have that in them. I don't. Till I see it. I'm the type of person that I need to see it to believe it, right? And I haven't seen that killer instinct because they've been keeping Frank Vogel around. So I don't predict the Lakers will trade LeBron unless LeBron wants out. If LeBron says, you know what, tired of the fans booing, it's not good for my brand, whatever, then maybe, right? But he's on a 1-year deal. I mean, I think he'll last at least that 1 year, play out his contract, and then he'll decide whatever he wants to do. He said, I'm looking for LeBron's side, Dan, because every time something doesn't go, LeBron pouts instead of being a man and fighting, Dan. And that's all we ask. You know what they say, turmoil, sometimes the struggle brings the true character of a man. All I want to see LeBron is just say, you know what? We're still the Lakers. I still love my team. We're going to fight to the end, and show it with your actions, because he was playing phenomenal before the All-Star break. And after the All-Star break, after all these rumors, so far he's 0 for 2. So I was really looking forward to seeing his body language and put everything behind him. But he hasn't looked great since. I don't know if that's just a coincidence or he's tired because we overused him or what's the case. But I do hope that we find the answers to this, because it's driving everybody nuts. They're like, does LeBron want to still be here, or is he moping, or is he tired? Like, what is it? It could be anything, to be honest with you. He said, money, Dan. A lot of people must understand they are not losing money that easily. Exactly. Monk is better than Westbrook. This season, yes, I agree with you this season. But career-wise, no. At least Monk hasn't accomplished anywhere near what Westbrook has accomplished. So if we're looking at the player as a whole, obviously Russell Westbrook's a Hall of Famer. Monk is just scratching the surface to what he can become. So, yeah, they're not even uncomparable. But, yeah, this season, Russ has been horrible. Russ, I don't think he's been a top 4 player on this roster. And that's saying a lot, being a max contract. And you might say, well, Dan, who are the top 4 players that have been better than Russell Westbrook? Well, obviously LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Malik Monk, Austin Reeves. Who else am I going to pick? There's been several. And it's not about the stats. It's about the effort, the consistency, and just the impact on the roster. Russ has probably had a handful of good games. I can probably count them with one hand. All right. And that's not good for a max contract. I hear you, Dan. I'm not psyched either. Only thing I'm worried about is the Laker brand, which is taking a beating right now. Oh, we'll take a beating, man. But we're like Rocky, bro. We always come back. It's you can't you can try to kick us while we're down, but you can never fully knock us down. We're not gonna stay down. And that's the thing I'm trying to educate the haters and the born yesterday fans, and especially some of these player fans that are coming out here saying, you guys are never gonna win anything. It's like, bro, I've heard this before. It sounds like deja vu. When Kobe retired, they say we would never win anything. What did I say? Yes, we will. When we had the young core and we were rebuilding, they were like, you guys are gonna be trash forever. No star wants to go there. Well, guess what? The biggest star came here. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything these haters always say never comes to fruition. They fear us. They fear the franchise. They fear the fan base because we always rub it in their face. They're talking all this mess right now, but as soon as we get back on top, we're gonna be like, told you so. That's what we do best. He said, finally some movement, Dan. Next up, Bazemore, Vogel, deal Russ in the summer, and we back. It could be as simple as that, Anze Life. I agree, bro. But see, this is what I'm interested in. This is what I'm really interested in. Are the Lakers going to go all in and try to compete one more year with LeBron and AD? Are they going to trade a pick? Are they going to move Russ and maybe a future pick as well to try to get another star again? Or are they going to just bring in some role player depth? I think that's the best way because that's how we won a championship before. If we trade Russ away, I'm not looking for a big name because what if it doesn't work again and you gave up more assets? All right. And we're getting older. And so what I would say is if there's a way to unload Russ without giving up any first round picks, I'm taking that avenue first. And if there's any way to keep Malik Monk and just add good role players, that's the way we won the championship. And of course, we should look to a two center traditional lineup, a center and a power forward, a real legit one to go alongside Anthony Davis, because that is the way we won the championship. We should have never went, we should have never went away from that. And we did. So Albert says, why don't we look for big men? I don't know, man. I think this is a strategy from the coaching staff. They're trying to evolve with the times or something because a lot of teams don't play two traditional big men. But if you look at the last couple of years, the two teams that won the championship, the Bucks and before them us, we had two traditional big men, right? At least, or one big man and two basic big men. I mean, listen, the Bucks had Brook Lopez starting. Then they had their power forward in Giannis, small forward in Chris Middleton, or flip them around. Doesn't matter. They had their size. They had a three-headed beast monsters. They're basically all 7 feet, 7 footers. I mean, not technically, but basically. All right, the other two are like 6'9", 6'10". They're basically 7 footers with different skill sets, guard-like skill sets. Those are the teams that are winning championships. So why are teams going away from that? Why are teams still following the stinking Golden State Warrior blueprint when you don't have a Curry and a Clay? It's beyond me. It's baffling. It's almost like coaching staffs around the league and front offices and GMs have just, they went haywire. Stop trying to recreate small ball when your team's identity is not small ball. That's why they call it a players league, because the coaching staff should be good enough to adapt to what you have on the roster to maximize their talent, rather than trying to get the DJ Augustins and Isaiah Thomases of the world and going away from two big man traditional lineups and going small and getting killed because you want to be like the Golden State Warriors and shooting 30+ 3-pointers a game when you're only making 8. You see what I mean? So this is, I think, the thing that drives me the craziest about the Steph Curry era is that so many teams think and they try to emulate that brand of basketball instead of playing to your own strengths. That's the worst part, man. And it gets tiring. As a fan, I'm like, stop settling for threes when you got LeBron, you got AD, you got Dwight. Just pound the ball inside, and eventually, guess what? You're gonna wear them down. They won't even have legs on the offensive end. Gabriel says, I've been a Laker fan since 1995, 1996, through the ups and the downs. Always a Laker. Been a hard season. I watch every game, and I enjoy your channel. Thanks, Gabriel. I appreciate you, bro. Funny thing, I came in the same year as you did, 96, 97. So I guess you're probably, 1 year before me at 1995. But listen, man, it's one of the toughest seasons I've ever witnessed, because in the past when we struggled, I knew who we were, right? When we had the 2012-2013 Lakers with Steve Nash that we acquired, we traded for Dwight, but he had back problems, right? He was just playing like a little you-know-what. And then we had Kobe Bryant still in his prime going ham. and Pau Gasol. I knew that if Kobe stayed healthy, we would have definitely made noise in that postseason. I promise you. Would we have won a championship? I can't tell you. If Dwight Howard and Steve Nash would have got with the program. Now Nash had back problems. He was a year too late. And this is what I mean about the Lakers getting players a year too late. Steve Nash gave up multiple first-round picks a year too late. We overpaid for him. Bad move by Mitch and Jim. All right. And then obviously we traded Andrew Bynum for Dwight, who didn't want to be here. And that was a bad move as well. But at least I knew that team had Kobe. We had Gasol. We had that chemistry still running. And if the other two guys got with the program at any point, we would have made noise in the playoffs. This team doesn't even want to be here. All right, we got 3 max contracts on. One is not playing due to injury, and the other LeBron looks like he's gassed or uninterested, one or the other. And Russell Westbrook, all right, looks like he's 2 years too late. Like, this team is the worst, and none of them like the coaching staff. Nor doesn't look like the coaching staff likes them, because Malik Monk in the bench again, bruh. So this got to be the worst Laker team I've ever witnessed for the price, right? The bang for the buck. It just feels like I went out to a fancy restaurant and I got a McDonald's meal. That's what I feel like when I watch this Laker team. Like, bro, what is this? I just paid $100 for this, for this fancy plate for me and my lady to eat, and we're getting a dollar menu type meal. Like, what is this, right? It's infuriating. And I'm sure Jeannie Buss is furious too, because she's paying, tax dollars, right? She's out here paying over the luxury tax for a losing team. No owner likes to, get swindled out of their money, but it's also her fault, because she should have been like the Queen of Dragons that Kobe said she should be, and she should have cut the head of the snake, which was Frank Vogel, and then went from there. If we needed to make trades, she should have made the trades then, and so on and so forth. We rolled the dice. We went with the team. Now we suffer the consequences. What are the consequences? Embarrassment, mediocrity, fans talking shit to players, players talking shit to fans. I don't think I've ever seen that in my history here with the Lakers. Like, before, when fans talk shit to players, players ignore them or play on. Try to prove yourself on the court. We're living in a soft period of time, man, when these players too sensitive. Everything got to be guns. Everything got to be guns and roses with them, man. It has to be just rainbows and sunshines, because there's the moment you say something negative about somebody's favorite player, 31 flavors start popping out, bro. Like, everybody. So, I appreciate those of you fans that have been keeping it real, man, critiquing all the players equally, whether they're superstars or past stars or, pretend stars, don't matter. They all get the same criticisms. This team just sucks. And now let's see what happens with these new acquisitions, see if the energy gets a little bit better, or if it's going to be more the same, if they're even going to get any playing time. All going to be interesting. So I'm telling you, Dan, problem is Westbrook. He is an infection and injects bad vibes. Maybe so, Hector, but we'll find out soon enough. Am I watching Batman? If God willing, bro, I'll be there. Yes, my favorite superhero is Batman. If y'all didn't know, the first name on my second channel used to be the Batcave, but I never took that channel off. So, but yeah, I'm a big Batman fan. It's my favorite superhero. It's the most relatable one. Is that the LA Kings the only thing I'm looking forward to now? Hey, man, whatever helps you get through the season. For me, it was a huge blessing that my Rams won the championship. It gave me new confidence for the Lakers season, and unfortunately, that confidence was misplaced. But we roll with the punches. Vogel isn't a great coach either. He definitely isn't, Trigger. He definitely isn't, bro. And I'm gonna tell you what. Not only is he not a great coach, but he should have been fired, I think, from the start of the season. And that's what came back to haunt us. And maybe some of these players shouldn't act like divas and they should still play hard. But I think he lost the locker room a long time ago. Did you guys see the way? Did you guys, matter of fact, go back and look up the speech. If y'all got Twitter or any sort of social media, look at the little speech that Frank Vogel had for the Lakers when they were down 30. He told them to pretend they were down 15. But he just looked so scared. Like, the way he was talking to players looked like he was afraid one of them might come across and punch him or something. Like, I could barely hear his voice. It sounded weak. We need a true general at the helm, especially when you have all these superstars or past stars or Hall of Famers, whatever you want to call them. You got so many of those. You got to make sure you got somebody with a thick skin that can take everything, you know. Year 19, but it's LeBron's fault. Nobody said it's LeBron's fault, bro. You hear what you want. Player fans, y'all tripping, bro. Player fans, I'm telling you, y'all be acting like condoms, man, to your favorite player. Y'all are the ultimate protection. Y'all double wrap your players, don't you? Nobody said it was LeBron's fault. If you've been listening, clean out your ears. I've been saying this, everybody shares a slice of the pie. You hear what you want to hear, bro. That's hilarious to me, man. These player fans are something else. They're born yesterday or something. I'm not even sure they're basketball fans at this juncture because they're not objective. They don't go back and forth in a healthy basketball conversation. They will say whatever comes out of their ass in order to protect their favorite players. Like I said, player fans, not all of them. Some of them are actually smart and respectful and all that, but a lot of these guys are just magnums, man. They're magnums. Zidane, I think Rob is living in 2010. I don't know what's up with Rob. He needs to be more of a killer, though. Rob needs to step up, too, because he did nothing in the trade deadline. He could have did something. Nobody's telling him to do what LeBron and Clutch wanted you to do, but he could have did something else. Go out and grab a big man here or do, buyout market, anything. But it looks like he said, you know what? My hands are clean because due to the injuries and the fact that LeBron wanted his favorite teammate, now everybody's going to blame him. So that's what it looks like Rob did to me. So that's why I place blame on him. It's like, bro, you got to take your ego out of it and just do what's right for the franchise moving forward. And I don't feel like we did enough in the trade deadline, so I was mad as hell at the front office. Go back and watch my video, right? But at the same time, everybody takes a slice of the pie because everybody had to do with the construction of this team. Everybody did. He said, Dan, I thought we signed in another big. We didn't, man. We haven't done anything we should have done this season. That's why it's been a wash. LeBron James is my favorite player of all time. I've seen him do things nobody has done. I ain't done with this season. This man came back down 3-1. You know what, Jordan? That would be great if, but it didn't seem like he's trying the last two games. If he was trying, I agree with you. My confidence would still be there, man. But it just didn't seem like he's interested. He seemed disinterested to me. At least to me. That's my take. That is my take. Gabriel says, last night was very hard to watch. Still Lakers. He said Vogel needs to go. He really does needs to go. Rotation has not been good at all. Needs to go. I agree, man. I mean, it's something we've been talking about all season long. And this is why I say everything goes, equally divided amongst the front office, the coaching staff, the players. Everybody takes a slice, man, because this was remember, the rumors were that Rob Pelinka had a deal in place for Buddy Hield. Now, am I a Buddy Hield fan? Heck no. I think he's inconsistent. I think here in Los Angeles, he could have been a better version of KCP, which is okay. But who knows? Maybe he would have fit, right? We don't know. There was rumors that DeMar wanted to play here. How much validity those had? Who knows? A lot of the times it's just rumors. And then none of that happened. We ended up going after Westbrook, and that just blew up in our face. And then we had an opportunity to trade him at the deadline, but it looks like it was going to cost us our soul, and the Lakers weren't willing to pay that. So, nor should they. Everybody can smell the desperation on this Laker unit, and that's when they, these guys are crooks, man. They're looking to take advantage of us. So, Lakers are losing because of the rotation. F no, man. Lakers are losing because we suck, bro. Let's be honest. The team construction was bad. The chemistry's bad. The stars aren't leading. I mean, we've lost 19 games this season that we could have won. Close games. Go look at the demographic. We're not closing out. We're self-destructing. Heck, we're not even structing at this point. We're just not showing up after All-Star break, we just haven't been showing up. There's no sense of urgency. There's no nothing. So everybody takes the blame. I mean, you guys can finger point all you want, but it's not going to help the team get better. The team's not going to get better just because you want to take blame off of anybody. Nah, everybody gets the blame. The Lakers' problem is coaching system and players' defensive is weak. A lot of coverages, players were easily beaten 1-versus-1 on high screens and pick and rolls. All of that, bro. All of that. Throw it in the mix. Throw it in the mix, throw it in the blender, and you're going to get your nice little recipe of blame. Trust me, there's no one specific problem with this team. If there was, our record would look a lot better because you can fix one problem. But when it's a multitude of things, that is when you come to and you suffer the consequences. And what are the consequences? This ugly season. because there's a lot of problems. Lack of height, lack of proper depth usage. Everything is wrong with this team. We need to get the center from the king. I don't know what that means, bro. Lakers need to get Rush out. It's not working. Rush? Who's Rush? Kobe saw something in Rob besides getting him paid to recommend him for job. What? Didn't know. You know what? Again, everybody wants to blame Rob or wants to blame LeBron or wants to blame one player or one person or the other. But everybody, again, I'm going with my narrative that we're really going to see what Rob is made of this offseason. This is the offseason for him to prove himself. If he can make magic happen, if he can pull a rabbit out the hat, I bet you nobody will be talking about Rob. Just like we all doubted him, myself included at times, especially when Magic got fired and said all those negative things about Rob. I was like, maybe Rob is a snake. I started seeing it from Magic Johnson's point of view. I was like, maybe there's something shaky there. But again, the truth always comes out sooner or later. If in the future he gets fired because he's not able to do anything this offseason or maybe moving forward, and maybe we'll find out the truth. If not, maybe he'll redeem himself, build another championship contender, and the Lakers fans will once again sing his praises. One thing I don't like to do here is to overreact to one thing or the other. I do know that this is a culmination of different things all season long. Now, obviously, I haven't been a fan of the coach at all. I think that is a huge reason why we lost a lot. I think player usage and, not playing enough centers alongside LeBron and AD have also been reasons why they got injured. But the freak accident, can't blame that on nobody. Again, I'm not going to repeat myself, but this just, you got to divide the blame equally to everybody, man. Everybody. Even Jeannie gets a piece. For sure. Byron said, Dan, I've lost hope in the front office. Love Jeannie, but she needs to either fire Vogel, get Rob to fire Vogel, or fire them both. Do you think Kurt Rambis should have so much to say in our decision making? I think Jeannie busts. This is what I think about Jeannie. I think she's a sweetheart, but she doesn't really know her X's and O's, right? And that's crazy to think about, a partial owner not knowing the X's and O's. But remember, she became partial owner because her pops passed away. God rest his soul, right? The great Jerry Buss, the greatest owner in sports history, probably. So by default, obviously Jim was not doing a good job. She had to fight him for the minority piece or whatever you want to call it. And now by default, she became. But remember, as soon as she took the helm, she said this: I'm going to keep my nose out of the basketball operations stuff. I'm going to leave that to Rob. So for that reason, I can't really blame her because she's probably as confused as a lot of people. Like, what's going on? She's asking for answers. Rumor has it she asked for advice where she trusts people. She trusts Kurt and Linda. Maybe she shouldn't so much. But she also trusts Magic Johnson. She's been getting advice from everybody, man. And I think she's lost. I think her dad was probably her best friend. Losing somebody like that can really be devastating to somebody. But I think she needs to find the courage, and she needs to just, like you said, if it's not working, I'm sorry, but I got to let you go. I got to let you go, man. Appreciate the donation of Byron. Thank you so much, brother. He said Magic quit on the team. Yeah, that's how they remember him as. But people also forget the fact that he helped bring LeBron James here. Remember, LeBron didn't want to talk to Rob Pelinka. Also confirming the fact that they don't have a great relationship. Maybe those rumors are true. But yeah, Magic did quit on the team, but who knows why, man? We don't know why. Maybe somebody did snake him out. Of course, he also made a couple mistakes along the way, but nobody's perfect. One thing we knew about Magic is he loved the Lakers franchise. Don't you think if Magic was still at the helm, he would have been chopping heads left and right? I do think so. Sometimes that could be a great thing. Sometimes that could be a bad thing because you prematurely make the wrong moves. But we have to, as fans, we have to sit back and just listen. Magic contributed to our championship as well because the moment he came back, people want to credit LeBron all the time. Yes, give him credit where credit is due. But the moment Magic Johnson came back to the front office, we knew we were going to win another championship. He reestablished the credibility that Jim and Mitch Kupchak had lost. People forget that. I'll never forget it. Go back and watch my video when we hired Magic Johnson. I told you guys everything that would happen. I said, we're going to land a star, probably LeBron James, probably more, and we're going to win a championship again because Magic has restored the faith in superstar players. They trusted him. This is part of the reason LeBron came here. Who knows if maybe If Rob Pelinka would have been at the helm and not Magic Johnson, maybe LeBron would have said, I can't trust this dude and went somewhere else. We never know. Could have been a Nick. Who knows? But at the end of the day, look, we got to give everybody credit for that championship, that 2020 championship. LeBron gets his share of the credit. AD gets his share of the credit. The front office gets their share. People are so willing to throw people into the fire immediately as soon as things start going south. But again, this is when you can see the character of people right now, man. You know, those of you that turn on the franchise when we're down, and some of you even worse, some people kick them and show their true nature and say, you know, screw the Lakers. I'm going to root for the Clippers now, or God forbid, you know, any other team. Those are fair weather fans. If you're a diehard, sure, critique the players, critique the team, critique the owners. All of that is fair, but you're going to stick with your squad, man, no matter what, you know? And that's all I'm saying. Just let's stay in solidarity, man. Let's just, you know, let's lock arms right now and don't let the noise on the outside rattle Laker fans. We know where we're going to return. We're going to return back to the promised land, man. You know, y'all remember my original rap song? The very first one I threw on here when I was an amateur, before I learned all the producing stuff and everything. My bars, you know, my name is Dan the Laker fan, and I got a master plan bring the Lakers back to the promised land. I knew the Lakers would be right back, you know, and I feel the same way now. I don't feel like it's over. We're going to suck for the next 10 years. I'm not an emo fan, man. You have to stay positive in these struggling times and know that we don't take 10 years off. We're not your average franchise, man. Sure, you know, we went through a little mini slump because certain trades didn't work out, because obviously Kobe tore his Achilles, and because we started rebuilding and focusing on the youth. But eventually we traded it all for a championship, and we'll do it again, man. We'll do that again. Real Laker fans rocking with me, because y'all know what's up. We've been here, D'Angelo Russell days way before that. We've been here, you know, Slavo Medvedenko. Y'all remember? Listen, if you're a real diehard Laker fan, you know who Slavo Medvedenko is, all right? You know who Sasha Vujacic is. You know who Vladimir Radmanovic is. Robert Sacre, Ronny Turiaf, Ryan Kelly. Even before that, you've been here with Kareem Rush, Brian Cook, Derek Fisher. Like, bruh, we've been through it all, man. And then these born yesterday fans want to come up here and tell us that we're not going to rise again after their favorite player retires. Well, I'll tell you what. To everybody saying that, I hope you retire with your favorite player, because the NBA doesn't need crazy fans like y'all, man. That's all I'm going to say. And those are my last words I'm going to say on this video, man. Stay positive. And I'm talking to the real Laker fans. Stay positive. It'll all come back around and make sense eventually. Right now, nothing makes sense. Not even to me. I can't explain to you or tell you what direction we're taking, because we don't have a direction. I don't even think the front office knows. They're probably having daily meetings on what they should do. But before I get off, I'll take a couple last questions, man. I want to be fair. I spoke my piece, told y'all what I feel about these new acquisitions, and obviously the subtraction by addition with DeAndre Jordan. So Sasha, aka the Machine, yes sir. He said, "Don't get it twisted. Clippers own the Lakers." Oh my goodness, this guy was definitely born yesterday. Let me help him out and put him out of his misery, bro. Before he types something cornier than what he just did. Block. Clippers own the Lakers. Y'all don't even own yourselves, man. Dan, I don't think that if we had Magic still, we would be in better condition. Magic wouldn't have got Westbrook. If we would be in better conditions, what you said. Who knows, man? Who knows? Everybody makes mistakes, bro. Everybody makes mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, this is the thing. We're always gonna, as Laker fans, we're critical because we love our team. We're hard. Sometimes we're even harsh, myself included. But it's all passion, man. And sometimes we misplace the passion, and it goes into blame. All right, every fan base does this. All right, player fans will try to call us crazy and stuff, but every fan base does it, and that's okay. You know, it's all about passion. But I'll say, listen, this Laker team is resilient, man. This Laker franchise is resilient. All right, this has been one of the toughest years. We lost the name Staples Center, right? We knew we were going to be garbage since preseason because it didn't seem like they were taking it serious. We didn't win a single game in preseason. We went without a single win, and they were like, "This is just preseason." That I kind of figured it would be turmoil translated over to the regular season. Then we had the little scuffle or mini scuffle, whatever you want to call it, a little shove between AD and Dwight Howard. I wasn't happy about that. Obviously, chemistry wasn't good. Then Ken Bazemore and DJ starting. That wasn't good. Then we called for Frank Vogel to get fired for weeks and even months. And then it just never translated to successful basketball. It just went downhill from there. Now we got the rumors of LeBron going back to Cleveland and all this BS, all this diva crap that Laker fans don't care about. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, it's just been a shitty season from the start, but we still here. We're still here. Gabriel said, always Lakers no matter what. It's not the Lakers never won championships. We have 17 NBA championships. Most recent 2020. We will be back at it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Steve Blake, the original Caruso. I remember Steve Blake. Steve Blake, he had a flamethrower. He could shoot. And it's a shame we don't have those type of role players now. But with our superstars to pair. But he said, "Yo, honestly, y'all, what does the name of the building have to do with anything? I mean, if it means nothing to you, that's your opinion. But it meant everything to us, man. It's history, it's memories." It just sounds better. Come on, Crypto.com versus Staples Center. Staples Center just rolls off your tongue nicely. It's like, I'm going to Staples Center. You're going somewhere iconic. Going to Crypto.com arena with the current memories we have of it now and the boo birds flying down is just not even appealing. Be honest. Like, if you're a Laker fan, you understand. I don't have to explain it. He said, DJ Augustin's a decent pickup. Yeah, I'm not mad at it, but we do have a lot. We have a lot of guards on our team. So I'm curious to see. And if Kendrick Nunn comes back, and then where will he get minutes? Like, I don't know. Ramon Sessions, I remember him too. RJ Barrett, what's up, bro? My day's going pretty good, man. I can't complain, brother. Prayers up for everybody, every victim out there, every victim of warfare. I can't even say Ukraine no more because there's African Americans that are stuck there, trying to escape Ukraine from what I hear from the news and stuff. So prayers up for them as well. You can't even specifically say to a group of people anymore. Just prayers up for all the victims and the victims of warfare and crimes and stuff, bro. It's sad days we living in. I hope all that gets resolved, soon enough, because nobody likes to see that. It's hard for me to sit here and talk basketball with y'all. Even though I love my Lakers and it's never a problem, but knowing that something really, bad is happening around the world like that, the heart breaks, man. They were playing bad when it was Staples Center. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, this year, but not the previous years, man. We 2 years removed from a championship. So he said everyone sleeps on Chucky Atkins. Oh, Chucky Atkins, wasn't he included in the package when we traded away Shaq? Yeah, I remember him. And we also had Karan Butler. And we've had some hoopers come through here, but some of these were just pit stops for them, and some actually stuck around. My favorite piece from the whole Shaquille O'Neal trade, obviously, was Lamar Odom and Andrew Bynum, but mainly Lamar Odom, man. I was happy when we won a championship, and he was a part of that. Love Lamar, man. I still love Lamar. Is it crypto the fake currency as long as they pay for the name in the U.S.? Make love, not war. Yes, sir. He says better to do something than not do anything. That is true. That is very true. He said, I'm going to the Crypt Arena to Crypt Walk Westbrook the fuck out of LA. Yo, Ali, that's crazy. Wayne Gabriel has good size. Yeah, he does. That's for sure. I mean, I think he played for Kentucky, right? If I'm not mistaken. I remember him. He seems like a project to me. It reminds me of like when we had the Antetokounmpo brother or who's another one? Isaac Bonga. I think he's, uncoordinated offensively. It's a shame when you see players like Thon Maker with all this size and potential, and they just never develop. So I hope Wayne and Gabriel actually become something, whether he's with the Lakers or not. I just cheer for young talent, bro. Devin George. Oh my goodness, yes, Devin George. You guys remember Kareem Rush? Man, he had a stroker on him. My boy his form was always the same, but Kareem Rush was sick, man. I remember him. He said 3 max contracts, fail. Yes, we did. Did you hear Russ post-game interview? Hilarious. I did not find that funny at all, bro, just because I get it where he's coming from. But like I said, sometimes you got to look in the mirror and just say, you know what? Yeah, we deserve to get booed. We sucked. And then the fans would, they would respect it a little bit more because at least you can admit it. But when you're sitting out here talking about, I got family to go home to, they could take all that boo to the crib, whatever. Like, bro, like, relax. It's not that serious. You got booed, you know? So Derek Fisher, Robert Horry, Rick Fox, Devin George, Shaq, Kobe, and of course Sasha Vujacic. Love all of them, man. I love all of them. We never forget our champions, that's for sure. Even our recent champions, KCP, Kyle Kuzma, we missed them too, believe it or not. JaVale McGee, our recent champions. He said, mindset, Dan, it's your mind. They got to believe it, and you can see it in their eyes. They don't. That's true, Boogie. That's always true, man. You know what they say about the eyes is a window to your soul. So, the body language, the eyes, all that, bro. We look defeated. And you know what? I'll say this. When I was younger, I hated the way ESPN and Fox and any network would trash my Lakers whenever we sucked and would make fun of us, TNT and all that. But now that I'm grown, I actually kind of like it. Let me tell you why. Because it installs this fire, or at least it should, in the players. If it doesn't in this unit, then they're not meant to be Lakers. But hopefully in future units and future players and future generations, it installs a fire in you to want to prove them wrong. It gives you a chip on your shoulder. Same thing for the front office. They had to do something because the noise is starting to get really loud on how bad we suck. So for those reasons, now that I'm grown, I see it from a broader perspective. And I actually think even though, they're benefiting from the clickbait because everybody loves the Lakers, they're going to tune in whether it's bad news or good news. And of course, these networks just love trashing us. I actually thank them because they're the critics that motivate and inspire future generations of Lakers, and they'll continue to do that. So let's look forward to that. On the bright note, we have completely hit rock bottom, man. There's only one way we can go. So let's hope that eventually that starts happening. If it's not now during the regular season, then hopefully it'll be, in the off season. And I'm here to break it all down with you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Appreciate all the donations, likes, man. If you already haven't, please hit the subscribe button. And really quick shout out, man. Shout out to my sponsored Prize Picks, best daily sports fantasy app. I will be doing a video tomorrow. I haven't had a chance to do one today, but I will be doing one tomorrow on my second channel. All right, Primetime TV, space DTLF. Go ahead and subscribe to that channel as well. And then we'll talk about it. Remember, promo code DTLF, 100% match guaranteed. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out.